What's up, Turtle fans? I am the White Foot Soldier, and this is a review of the Bebop and Rocksteady TMNT figures by NECA. Now, of course, these figures have been out for some time now, but they have been extremely difficult for collectors to find, and I finally got my hands on a set. These are Target exclusive, and this is considered the wave 2 of the classic TMNT line by NECA. So again, Target exclusives, and these are the ones that everybody wants right now. And of course, with everything going on in the world, nobody's probably getting out as often to search for them, and the prices online are going up. So these are going to, I think, be harder to find even going forward. So I'm very pleased that I got my hands on them. There are tons of reviews already up of them, but I felt like I wanted to do my own as well, just because I was so excited to finally get them and share with everybody. So let's have a look at them. So first we see the window box art with, of course, Rocksteady and Bebop at the bottom. And see kind of the accessories in there as well, and the figures themselves, but we'll talk about that once we open them up. The first thing that I did notice about this box, when I turned it over on the side, I noticed that the box was thicker. So the box is thicker because the figures obviously are bigger than the turtles. So the boxes are thicker than what the turtles are. Now, something was jiggling around in mine, so I did actually just pop the tape off, but I didn't do anything but pull out the plastic and look, and found actually one of Rocksteady's hands were behind the plastic, so it was kind of popping around. So that's what that noise was. But I didn't actually get them out yet to check them out. So this is my first time as well. Again, we can see Rocksteady on the side. Turn it over, we get a good shot of both the Shredder's henchmen there. And down we can see we get the 2 foot soldiers, Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello. So those are the other sets that are in this wave. And I believe Krang and Shredder too were released randomly throughout as well. You can see the different color skin of the turtles there, different tone of green. We get a little bio there. Bebop on that side. Nothing really special on that side. Classic TMNT logo on the top. So let's not wait any longer and snap these guys open. All right, now that we got these guys out of the packaging, let's have a look at them. First of all, the sculpts are absolutely incredible, and we'll talk about the figures here in a second, but let's talk about the accessories first. We can see that each figure actually does come with the same accessories. For the most part, they come with the rifles. Each of them come with 1 rifle, and they also each come with 1 laser. And now, like I said, these are the same. As far as I can tell anyway. There's not really any paint difference or anything like that, so they each do come with the same accessories up to that point, but then they also share a communicator. Now, this is my favorite accessory out of this bunch here, because I think these are so cool, and it just brings back memories of the '87 cartoon. And then you can see there's a little sticker on there with Shredder, so that's a neat addition, and then some detailing on the back as well. These guys also come with hand swaps. They come with 2 different sets of hand swaps, actually 3 if you're counting the ones that are on their hands. So we can kind of see that just some different, there's like a pointing finger there, and maybe gripping on the other hand. And then we have some kind of open hand there, reaching for something. And kind of the same for Bebop there. So good to have some different hand swaps to change things up. So now let's have a look at the figures, and we'll start over here with Rocksteady first. Now, just as I said, the sculpt is amazing. These guys look so good. It looks like they just jumped right off the TV screen of the '87 cartoon. Something that I did notice when I was setting them up, they are heavy. I mean, these guys aren't light figures. They're top heavy too. The legs and stuff, I did have a little bit of trouble getting them because the joints and things are kind of tight. Had a little bit of trouble getting them set up. But tons of articulation, as we talked about before with the other figures in this line. I'll just kind of show you some of that. Not going to really spend a whole lot of time. Going to talk more about the details, but there is a lot of articulation. Obviously, the hands there you can pop off. The legs, now they're a little bit tight. So just a ton of articulation. Like I said, I'm not going to go through every little detail, but I do want to show you some things with the movements. For example, for this one, you can see that his mouth actually opens. So you can kind of have a different pose with his mouth open, or you can close it up. So that's neat. The jaw opens up and you can see some detailing in there. We get the tongue and the teeth and everything. So, and then his head kind of pops up. Now he is a little bit, like when he's standing straight up, his head is kind of looking down. His neck's kind of, you know, facing downwards. So it's kind of tough to get like a shot. You're almost gonna have to get underneath it if you want to get the full shot of his face. Tons of detailing on this guy, and it's funny because his belly's actually like a soft rubber. Like when you push in, it's actually soft. And then some things you're gonna really have to be careful with these guys. It has a grenade hanging there, and that's kind of a thin piece of rubber. These are adult collecting, of course, so you know, don't recommend kids to be playing with this stuff because they'll rip that stuff right off. Same with kind of the turtle shell thing, that's soft on the side. And then the belt is a softer material. We turn them over, we can see the shirt's kind of over top of them there, and you can kind of lift it up a little bit. We also get some nice shadowing there. Turn him over and we have his knife on his back. Now the knife doesn't actually come off, but it is also on there with a thin piece, and it's kind of hard to show that, but it's a thin piece maybe from that angle. And so you have to be very careful because that could just pop right off, you know, pretty easily. So I want to be careful with that. Another grenade in the back. Awesome lines on there, just like the, you know, like off the artwork almost. The pockets in the back, and that's actually soft too. The pockets in the butt actually is soft on there. So interesting to have that. The legs are solid. Again, some darker paint on the, you know, the shadowing parts. Something I did just notice is there's a lot of sloppiness on his neck up there. So a lot of yellow sloppy paint. So that's kind of disappointing for a you know, $50 some set of figures. So that's pretty sloppy up there. That's you know, not really looking too good. And then a little bit of paint by his ear as well, a dot. So see if there's anything else that I missed. Not really, I don't think. Cool eyes, yellow eyes there. The pockets in the front, now those are sculpted right on. Some neat boots, good articulation there. So Rocksteady's looking really great. So let's have a look at Bebop next. All right, here's Bebop. Now Bebop looks amazing as well. The first thing I did notice, and I think it's just because I was watching the season 7, I think it was, of the TMNT, and I noticed that the like shell shoulder pads, like the turtle shell shoulder pads, are actually solid green on the season 7 at least. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at that to double check. They do have yellow on here, but on the cartoon, like I said, they were solid green. So that's something I did notice. We got the cool necklace there with the bones. Kind of like his torso there, you can kind of see it moves up and down. Got the chains. Now we got to be careful with the chains again too, because they are just kind of like the part on the front there you can see is glued on. Same with the wrist, we got the chains in the wrist. Now he looks really, really good though. I'm just gonna have to, like I said, be very careful. It's so cool too, looking down like where his feet would go into the shoes, like how he's got the flutter looking pant, and like almost like the Chuck Taylor style of shoes with the wrapped around laces. That just screams 90s. So cool. Turn around there, we get some shading, some darker for the shadowing, I should say, not shading. And he's also soft rubber. And we get the lines again, really neat looking in the back. I don't really notice any paint that's too sloppy on him, which is great news. If we turn him over too and look at his face, another cool thing, we can move his mouth down and have it kind of opened up. See a good side shot there. We also have his nose ring and his shades lift up. So that's a neat thing too. And something that I really, really love is that they did exactly what the cartoon has with Bebop with the mohawks. We get the purple mohawk, but then you come back and it's actually brown in the back. That always bothered me as a kid because I thought, well, if his mohawk's purple, then his whole mohawk should be purple. And I thought, you know, that's a big mistake on the animation part for the cartoon. But I thought that was cool that they actually did that for the ponytail, almost like making it brown. Then we get like a tie there, and some nice detailing up around there with some different lines and things. I don't know if that's scratches. Yeah, that's actually meant to be there. I was gonna say there's some tooling there with his face with some grooves and some different lines. So these guys look great. Some grenades hanging off of there. Get some bullets across the chest. These, I mean, they're intimidating figures too. They're solid. Like I said, this guy's heavy, very top heavy. The jacket's cool. So everything's really nice on these guys. You can even see actually some little detailing even right there with the pants being different length for the pant legs. So as I said, these guys look great. Not only do they look, amazing, but whenever you actually see the size of them, like I love that the sculpt and everything's great, but what really stands out to me is how they're just bigger and badder looking figures, like compared to the turtles. Like I like the scale that they actually made them. In the basic lines of figures, a lot of times you get everything at the same scale and same height and everything. And these guys just, I mean, obviously they're using the same parts, which is fine. But as far as like being bigger to other figures in the line, they're gonna look awesome, and I can't wait to put them on display. So these guys are definitely not going back into plastic. They will go on display with my other turtles from the Classic Collection NECA line. So that pretty much wraps things up. I mean, these guys are very nice. The sculpt's amazing. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend for kids only because of different things like on them that could rip off pretty easily, but they're the Classic Collection adult collecting line, so that's what they are. So that's not really a complaint or anything. It's just for anybody thinking about getting these for their kids, I would be careful. These are going to look amazing on the shelves. Good luck hunting them down. These, like I said, are going to be hard to find, but hopefully everybody who wants them is able to get them. And thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more TMNT news and reviews.